On the 602nd day of the war in Ukraine, the fighting was concentrated in these areas. On Donetsk front, fighting continues in the Avdiivka sector. After 9 days of fighting, it seems that the battles have taken a positional character after the Russian armored units were unable to break through the Ukrainian defense. The initial and powerful wave of Russian armored attacks was successfully defeated, and now the Ukrainian sources are publishing new facts about the massive losses in equipment and manpower that Russians have suffered so far during this offensive. Based on high-quality satellite images, the Ukrainian source Deep State Map analyzed the terrain on the northern part of the front line in the areas around Krasnohorivka and identified at least 63 damaged and destroyed Russian equipment. Another Ukrainian source analyzed the losses that the Russians suffered during their massive armored assaults over the Ukrainian stronghold of Terikon, north of Avdiivka. As you can see from the image, the Ukrainian source identified at least 21 tanks and armored vehicles which were destroyed on the 1.5-kilometer road that goes between Krasnohorivka and the Terikon. Regarding the territorial changes, in the northern direction the Russian offensive remains stuck for days, with Russian troops being unable to move past the railway near the village of Stepove. Today, the Ukrainian source Deep State Map reduced the grey area north of Stepove, indicating that the Russian threat in this area is slowly fading out. Based on geolocated footage, it is safe to say that Russians have lost a similar amount of equipment during their attacks on the southern part of the front line. Ukrainian sources are claiming that during the first week of the offensive, the Russian army lost at least 140 pieces of equipment in the entire sector, including the southern part of it in the Berdyansk line as well as near Pervomaiske. According to them, 2 regiments of the Stormzy convict units of the Russian forces and the 39th Motorized Rifle Brigade of the Russian army have suffered huge losses. Some Ukrainian sources say that in terms of manpower, Russians have lost at least 3,000 soldiers during their attempts to encircle the Ukrainian stronghold of Avdiivka. Today, more information became available on the new Ukrainian bridgehead across the Dnipro River. Yesterday, some Russian sources, including Rybar, reported on the activity of the Ukrainian forces on the left bank of the Dnipro River. According to them, small units of Ukrainian infantry forces managed to push south and reach the villages of Poima and Pishchanivka, establishing some control over both settlements. Today, new footage emerged confirming the activity of the Ukrainian DRG units in the vicinity of the 2 settlements. Initially, the Russian sources published footage of their artillery striking the railway bridge over the Berdyansk River about 2 kilometers away from the Russian-controlled settlements, indicating that the Ukrainian units were using the structure as a cover during their ongoing operation. In the footage, Ukrainian soldiers can be seen moving under the bridge, and the Russian artillery appears to miss the targets. Russian forces also conducted airstrikes using FAB-500 strikes over the bridge. Later, Russian sources started to share footage taken from the Russian drones, which showed the presence of some small Ukrainian DRG units moving north, suggesting that they were leaving their previous positions right after they came under heavy artillery fire. However, another video emerged showing Ukrainian soldiers operating near the first buildings of the Russian-controlled village of Poima, confirming the Ukrainian presence on the northern outskirts of the settlement. Russian sources declared that Ukrainian soldiers were pushed back after suffering casualties due to the Russian artillery fire, but the footage suggests that Ukrainians more likely conducted reconnaissance missions rather than large-scale attacks to break through the Russian lines. Regarding the Ukrainian ATACMS strikes over the Russian airfield in Berdyansk, today satellite images showed a clearer picture of the aftermath of the Ukrainian attack. As seen in this photo, as a result of the missile attacks, Ukrainian forces managed to damage and destroy at least 9 helicopters of various types. Currently, Ukrainian sources are trying to gather more information about the Russian losses on Luhansk, where another missile attack reportedly took place yesterday. Today, Ukrainian sources published more footage of the launching of 6 more Ukrainian ATACMS missiles towards the Russian targets. Friends, if you like my daily updates, I kindly ask you to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as this will greatly help the channel to reach a wider audience. That's all for today's update. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, and have a great day.